Poise Under Pressure, the silent swagger of Caitlin Clark. Episode 2 of 4 of my Caitlin Clark miniseries. Well, the crowd roars and the clock ticks, tick, 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 tick. Caitlin doesn't flinch. No flapping unnecessary movements of her hands. No explaining. Just steel eyes and a calm breath. She's mastered the art of still power. And leaders should take notes because in business, just like in basketball, the stillest person in the room often has the most control.
Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to my podcast today in the driver's seat with me, Janine Driver.
Are you ready for one of the coolest podcasts on the web? Janine Driver, she's an expert on body language, persuasion, emotional intelligence, decision-making hack. This is In the Driver's Seat with Janine Driver.
The science of calm dominance. When you're under high stress, your amygdala, the brain's threat detector, can hijack your body. Your heart rate spikes, breathing gets shallow, and your hands tend to fidget, words tumble out. Elite performers like Caitlin Clark train their prefrontal cortex to stay online when the heat is on. This keeps the amygdala from flipping into fight or flight. It also allows the parasympathetic nervous system activation, that rest and digest mode that keeps muscles loose and breath steady. Physical signs of still power. Feet planted, shoulder width apart. I call it a short, fat candle. Shoulders rolled back and chest open. Chin is neutral, not tilted up in arrogance. We talked about that recently in a segment. Steady, even breath. Often visible if you look at the slow belly rise and fall. Micro movements only when purposeful. Here's some celebrity examples. Roger Federer. Between points, still, deliberate, no wasted motion.
Scam on Federer serve. First serve to center flicking. Don't get the credit for another there. But no racket on ball there.
Barack Obama in a press conference, long pauses, measured tone, hands almost still. Meryl Streep in an interview, a masterclass in letting silence do the work.
Why did I become an actress? Probably because my friends told me that I did it very well in college. That's when I first was in a play. And I knew I liked it, but I really never thought I could make a living at it. And I thought it was sort of a silly thing to be.
The leadership lesson, stillness sells. In sales or leadership, when you speak and then you go still, you send two signals. One,
I believe what I just said.
And two,
I'm not afraid of your reaction.
Over talking after you make a point is a form of self-soothing. It's for you, it's not for them. And here's the deal. It kills your credibility.
Perhaps you could tell us what you personally have been doing for the last 7 years.
You can please some of the people some of the time, but one of the hardest things when you're trying to affect change is that people like this gentleman are right in some areas. I'm sure that there are some things OpenDoc does, probably even more that I'm not familiar with, that nothing else out there does. And I'm sure that you can make some demos, maybe a small commercial app that demonstrates those things. The hardest thing is, how does that fit in to a cohesive, larger vision that's going to allow you to sell $8 billion, $10 billion of product a year? And one of the things I've always found is that you've got to start with the customer experience and work backwards to the technology.
Here's an example. A Fortune 500 CEO once told me his biggest deal closed because he asked for the sale, then literally in his head counted to 10 without breaking eye contact. On second number 7, the other side said,
All right, let's do it. I said when there's a clap, they're ready to act. Let's do it.
Movie and sports tie-ins. Moneyball. Watch Brad Pitt as Billy Bean during the trade negotiations. Calm, clipped sentences, then silence.
Damn, Billy, was that a suggestion?
Guys are just talking. Talking la 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 like this is business as usual. It's not.
We're trying to solve the problem here, Billy.
Not like this, you're not. You're not even looking at the problem.
We're very aware of the problem. I mean,
Okay, good. What's the problem?
the problem is we have to replace 3 key players in our
No.
lineup.
What's the problem?
Same as it's ever been. We've got to replace these guys with what we have existing.
No. What's the problem, Barry?
We need 38 home runs, 120 RBIs, and 47 doubles to replace.
The problem we're trying to solve is that there are rich teams and there are poor teams. Then there's 50 feet of crap. And then there's us. It's an unfair game. And now we've been gutted. Like organ donors for the rich. Boston's taking our kidneys. Yankees taking our heart. And you guys are sitting around talking the same old good body nonsense like we're selling jeans.
Steph Curry at the free throw line. Deep breaths, eyes up, stillness before the shot.
Ronnie Price is as good as anybody guarding 94 feet, but I don't know if you want to guard Curry 94 because
The King's Speech, when Colin Firth's character learns to pause instead of rush, his authority grows, the stutter disappears.
I have a sieve of sifted thistles and a sieve of unsifted thistles. A sieve of sifted thistles and a sieve of unsifted thistles. Because I'm a
Darling, make sure it's not switched off.
Remember, the red light will blink 4 times, and I've asked them to turn it off.
20 seconds.
Forget everything else. Say it to me as a friend.
In this grave, our perhaps the most fateful in our history, I send to every household of my
The body-brain feedback loop. When you control your body, you influence your brain. Slow breath through the nose for 4 counts, out for 6. Triggers the vagus nerve, that brake on the stress response. This isn't just looking calm. You're actually lowering cortisol, that stress hormone, and you're steadying your voice. By practicing stillness, you condition your insula and anterior cingulate cortex to interpret high-stakes moments as part of your brain.
As, hey, it's just manageable, bruh. This is not threatening. I got this.
In ATF, we did escape and evade training. Someone had to come at us with a gun, and we had to practice. Here's an extra for your meeting. Before entering the room, roll back your shoulders 2 times. We used to do this in the 80s. Plant your feet on the ground underneath you and take 2 slow belly breaths. Deliver your points. Pause for a full 3 seconds at least. Count in your head if you have to. And keep your eyes soft and your face neutral. This isn't theater. It is psychological. Caitlin's signature move in business. Caitlin's calm in chaos isn't just talent. It's repetition. She has been in thousands of high-pressure moments, and her nervous system has learned
this is safe, girl. You can handle this.
You can train your brain and body that way too. Start in low-stakes situations. Hold still after making a suggested comment or thought in a meeting. Pause before answering a difficult question in a one-on-one. Steve Jobs was so good at this when he was called out.
What have you been up to, Steve Jobs, in the last 5 years?
And be silent. Every now and then, try some silence. This week, pick one high-stakes moment and practice your silent swagger. Don't fidget, don't overtalk, plant, breathe, pause. See how people lean in to fill the space you've created. By the way, it's great to use hand gestures when making a point as long as it serves a purpose. Here's the deal. In leadership and sales, stillness is not a weakness. It's proof. You've already won the inner game. And that's the only one your audience can feel without you saying a word. Keep driving with me over in the driver's seat here on In the Driver's Seat with Janine Driver, where the truth always runs shotgun. Like this episode, be sure to follow my page and send it to someone that might be appreciative of receiving this episode. Again, the power of a little stillness and calmness goes a long way. Bye now.
Thanks for tuning in to In the Driver's Seat with Janine Driver. Use these insights to make your life easier and relationships stronger. Remember, you matter and belong, and you're not alone on this journey. Until next time, keep driving forward. Bye now.